Imagine you're having a conversation with a dear friend, both of you sipping on your favorite coffee, talking about life and all the strives and struggles that come with it. In these calm, unrushed moments, we often find simple truths that stay with us, one of which is rooted deeply in the wisdom of Stoicism. This truth speaks to the power of silence and the role it plays in achieving genuine success. Stoic philosophy has always embraced the value of silence. For the Stoics, silence was not just about quietness for its own sake. It was a way to clear away the chaos, the constant feedback, and the distractions of everyday life, so that we could focus on what matters most. It was a tool for introspection and self-mastery. In a society constantly churning with the noise of opinions, the Stoics ask us to engage in silence, not only to reflect, but to find our truest and most meaningful path in life. Silence in the Stoic tradition isn't avoidance or escapism. It's a deliberate pause. It's a space that allows us to listen to the voice of reason within, to tap into a deeper understanding of who we truly are, and to live a life that's aligned with our virtues. So let's explore this idea further. Why is silence such a central principle in Stoicism, and how does it form the foundation of true success? The chaotic outer world, a distraction from true success. In a world obsessed with external approval and noisy discussions, it's easy to forget what really matters, our internal purpose and integrity. Each day we're exposed to a constant stream of information, news headlines, social media updates, people's expectations, and a multitude of voices demanding our attention. This world of noise can make us feel as if we're constantly running a race without ever pausing to consider why we're running or where we're going. But Stoicism invites us to pause and look inward. It reminds us that the pressures from outside are temporary and can often lead us away from the essential work of self-improvement. True success, the Stoics believed, doesn't come from the noise or the opinions of others. It's achieved by aligning our actions with virtue, focusing on what we can control, and finding peace in silence, away from the constant churn of external expectations. This world of distraction can lead to FOMO, fear of missing out, where we constantly compare ourselves to others. But what if success could be defined by internal peace, where we're not defined by what others think, but by our inner sense of purpose and satisfaction? This is the quiet yet powerful lesson. Stoicism teaches us, in a world of constant noise, silence is the secret we need to focus, find direction, and achieve real success. Silence and the Stoic virtue of self-reliance. A core value of Stoicism is self-reliance, the ability to trust in ourselves and our ability to make decisions that align with our principles. In a time when so many people rely on external sources of approval, silence gives us the space to strengthen our inner muscle of decision-making. By removing external noise, we can hear our truest intuitions and align our actions with what we believe is right. In the quiet, we have the opportunity to understand who we really are, not who we think others want us to be. When we remove external pressures, we can think clearly about what we truly value and make decisions based on these values, rather than on the whims of society or the expectations of others. Silence also teaches us to rely less on outside feedback and more on our inner judgment. This is not to say that we should ignore others or become closed off, but it reminds us to prioritize our inner voice, the voice of reason, before seeking external approval or criticism. Self-reliance, built in the silence of our minds, leads to true strength and gives us the confidence to make decisions that align with our deepest values. For example, think about a person deciding to start a new business. In the beginning, it's easy to be overwhelmed by the voices of advisors, friends, and the media, all giving contradictory advice on what to do and what not to do. By embracing silence and turning inward, that individual can clearly hear their own idea, the one that comes from their core values and passion. This silent inner dialogue leads to decisions that are true to them, instead of being swayed by external pressures. Working in silence, the key to personal excellence. When we think about excellence, it's easy to picture a lavish ceremony, with crowds of people cheering and applauding. But the Stoics understand that true excellence isn't about the public display, it's about the quiet consistency of daily action without seeking recognition. Excellence, the Stoics believed, is a product of dedication that is most effective when it is undistracted by the constant noise of expectation and opinion. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor philosopher, often wrote about the importance of consistent, quiet action. He saw that success isn't a flashy moment, but a slow, gradual evolution that comes from dedicated effort. When we work quietly, without constantly sharing our progress or seeking approval, we create a more meaningful and sustainable path to success. We allow our work to speak for itself. And as we continue to improve, our excellence becomes self-evident. It isn't about seeking outside recognition. It's about knowing that we are doing the right thing and doing it to the best of our ability. Take, for example, a scientist working on a complex research project. The work is hard, often lacking immediate recognition or appreciation from the public, but the scientist keeps working quietly in the lab, testing hypotheses, gathering data, and improving their methods. The outcome may not be a stage full of applause, but the personal excellence achieved through the quiet work is immensely satisfying. Excellence in silence also allows for the development of deeper skills with less distraction. We can focus on mastering our craft, paying attention to the details, and striving for improvement without being sidetracked by the expectations of others. The strength of internal dialogue and silence. Silence doesn't just strengthen our actions, it also strengthens our minds. In the quiet, we have the space to conduct an honest, reflective dialogue with ourselves. This is a crucial element of Stoic practice, the internal examination of our actions, thoughts, and behaviors. Through this process, we can learn to see our mistakes without defensiveness, to embrace our weaknesses with courage, and to constantly improve. The Stoics believed that true wisdom arises not from external sources, but from the silent, honest dialogue we have with ourselves. These moments of solitude, where we can strip away external influences, allow us to see our actions clearly. With a clearer perspective, we can align our decisions with our virtues and continually move closer to the ideal of a virtuous life. This internal dialogue is the foundation for emotional resilience. When we practice silence and self-reflection, we develop the ability to respond to life's challenges with calm and reason, rather than being swept away by emotions or external circumstances. It is this quiet strength that allows us to stay steady, even in the face of adversity. For example, think about a person who experiences a setback at work, perhaps a failed project or a criticism from a colleague. Instead of reacting impulsively or defensively, the Stoic approach suggests pausing in silence. This pause allows the individual to reflect, is this setback a result of my own actions, or is it out of my control? By turning inward and having this dialogue, the person can respond with calm and clarity, making a decision to learn and improve without getting caught up in the noise of emotions. The creative power of silence. Silence is a catalyst for creativity. The Stoics understood that creativity flourishes in stillness. Instead of seeking endless feedback or approval, we learn to trust our innate creativity in silence. We can explore, fail, learn, and try again, without the pressure of public expectations. It's in this quiet space that true innovation can emerge, where ideas can be born without being filtered or stifled. the inner satisfaction of a job well done finally. Stoicism teaches us to find satisfaction in our own efforts, rather than in external recognition. Silence enables us to shift the focus from the outside world to our own inner state of being. Instead of being dependent on others' praise or approval, we learn to feel fulfilled simply by knowing that we have done our best. This internal satisfaction is far more sustainable than external recognition. It comes from knowing that we have lived up to our own standards and that we are constantly improving, even in the absence of public praise. This inner peace and contentment can never be taken away,